Do you believe in ghosts? The people of Georgia and England certainly did. To them, ghosts were very real, and this led to many real effects on Georgian society. The year is 1803, and a young man is walking past a church in the Hammersmith area of Greater London, England. This man is a brewer's assistant named Thomas Groom, and he is walking home from work at around 9 p.m. Then, a figure wearing a white shroud jumps out from behind a tombstone and grabs Thomas by the throat. As Thomas and the figure scuffle, one of Thomas's friends hears them and rushes to Thomas's aid. At which point, as the man stated later, the ghost gave me a twist round and I saw nothing. I gave a bit of a push out with my fist and felt something soft, like a great coat. Thomas Groom and his friend escaped from the figure, but they were not the first in the area to report being attacked by a ghost. Sightings of the ghost began around November of 1803. The story spreading through Hammersmith was that a man had game-ended himself and was buried in the consecrated ground of the local church. Contemporary belief at the time was that if those who game-end themselves are buried in holy ground, their souls cannot rest. Two women had claimed to be attacked by a figure in a white shroud. Both were apparently so frightened that it was reported that they both died from shock 2 days later. Then came the attack on Thomas Groom and his companion. This sparked watchmen and citizens to arm themselves and form parties to hunt the ghost. Why they thought that they could kill a ghost with a gun, I have no clue, but they certainly tried. On December 29th, night watchman William Girdler gave chase to the ghost, but the figure threw its shroud off and escaped. Due to the lack of a trained police force in London at the time, the locals of Hammersmith took it upon themselves to track and kill the ghost. On the night of January 3rd, 1804, Girdler met one of the men who armed themselves, 29-year-old excise officer Francis Smith, who was armed with a shotgun. Smith told Girdler he was looking for the ghost, to which Girdler agreed he would join Smith after he had called the hour of 11 p.m. Just after 11, Smith saw a bricklayer by the name of Thomas Millwood, who was wearing the typical outfit of his trade, which was an entirely white outfit, washed clean with a white apron too. Millwood had been walking home from visiting his parents and sister. Thomas's sister, Anne Millwood, stated later that after seeing her brother leave, she heard Smith shout, "Damn you, who are you and what are you? Damn you, I'll shoot you." After which, Smith fired his shotgun, hitting Millwood in the jaw and killing him. Millwood's neighbors met with Smith, who appeared very agitated after discovering the ghost he just shot was a man. A constable later arrived on the scene, taking Smith into custody. Millwood's body was taken to a local inn, where a surgeon examined the body 3 days later. Smith was put on trial for murder. Millwood's widow testified she had asked her husband to cover his outfit with a coat, as he had already been mistaken for the ghost and nearly attacked by angry Londoners. Millwood's sister also testified that even though Smith had called for her brother to stop, he fired almost immediately, not giving Millwood a chance. The presiding judge, Lord Chief Baron Sir Archibald MacDonald, stated on the incident, "I should betray my duty and injure the public security if I did not persist in asserting that this is a clear case of murder, if the facts be proved to your satisfaction." Baron MacDonald asserted that Smith was not acting in self-defense, nor did he shoot Millwood accidentally. Millwood had not provoked Smith to shoot him, and even if Millwood was the ghost, shooting him was still not acceptable, as Smith had not attempted to apprehend him. The Baron then pointed out that frightening people while pretending to be a ghost was not even a felony, but merely a misdemeanor which warranted a small fine. After deliberating on the case for 1 hour, the jury returned with a verdict that Smith had committed manslaughter, but they were informed by the judge that they must either find him guilty of murder or acquit him. Smith was later pronounced guilty of murder. While Smith was initially sentenced to hang, Baron MacDonald appealed to King to commute Smith's sentence, which the King lightened to 1 year of hard labor. The publicity surrounding the case prompted the actual ghost, an old shoemaker named John Graham, to come forward. Graham had pretended to be a ghost using a white sheet to scare his apprentice, who had been scaring his children with ghost stories. There are no records as to whether or not Graham was ever punished. The Hammersmith ghost case brought up the question of whether mistaken belief or mass hysteria were sufficient defense to a criminal charge. This question would rise again in 1984 with the R. versus Williams case, where a man saw store owner Gladstone Williams dragging a young man down the street. The man intervened and assaulted Williams to discover the young man he was dragging was a thief that Williams was bringing to the police. In 2008, the Criminal Justice and Immigration Act finally labeled mistaken belief as insufficient defense in the British court of law. But the question still persists. Do you believe in ghosts? Thanks for watching.